with the slides. I am paying attention and to the slides, to what I am saying, concentrate on that. I will not pay attention to the chat. So please interrupt me with, open your mic and tell me if you cannot hear me. That's something that we should be open to happen. No problem with me. So let's go to the presentation. I will try to share my presentation. Okay, you are seeing my screen, right? So what we
yes,
are
ma'am.
going... Thank you. Thank you, Victory. So what we are going to discuss today is about cultural synergy. We are going to consider one key skill, soft skill we should develop, which is emotional intelligence. And this is a skill that we will always use during our lives, personal and professional, but even more importantly, because we are in a multicultural industry. So the outline of the presentation is, first of all, to describe the background of EI, that is the acronym for emotional intelligence, its domains, its competencies. We are going to see facial expressions, and we are going to discuss this very briefly in the context of a multicultural environment. So I already have a question for you because I want this session to be very interactively. It's more about you than about me. So I wonder, do you have knowledge about what is emotional intelligence? You can raise your hand, but please be sincere, right? It's very important that we are sincere with our answers. This is an environment in which it's safe to say the truth, right? I am trying to see if someone has raised their hands. As I said, with the slides, it's a little difficult. Okay, well, let's leave it like that, but think about that. What do you know right now about emotional intelligence? And now I will define emotional intelligence. It's the ability to recognize, to identify, to manage our own emotions and the emotions of others. And really, this comes also with maturity, right? You are in a very early stage of your life, very young, you are a student. Perhaps most of you have not experienced the professional environment that is totally different from the student environment. I remember when I got my degree and I started working, I thought, okay, this is real life, right? Because we compete with others, right? There is a salary that is implied that was not implied when we were students. So things are different. And emotional intelligence is a key component of your work, would be a key component of anything that you do at work, as it is already a key component of you being a student. So when we talk about emotional intelligence, we talk about self-awareness, self-control, but not only about that. It's not the relationship with ourselves. It's also how we relate to others, our social skills, our relationships, how we communicate, how we motivate others. So let me see. These are skills for personal and professional success. So extremely important. And the concept was developed long ago in 1990. I was trying to, yes, now it is maximize the screen. There we have the animation. So I am going to describe different domains of emotional intelligence. I think that these concepts, when you hear about them for the first time, okay, they might sound a little difficult, but we are going to get there, right? You will get more familiar about these concepts as we make progress in the presentation. First of all, we talk about self-awareness, how we see ourselves emotionally. So we recognize our own emotions when we talk about self-awareness. So that's the first step. But then we need to manage those emotions, right? To manage the emotions, first we need to reflect about what are our emotions in different situations. And the same happens socially. We have first social awareness. For example, here we are in a social environment, online, virtually, but it is a social environment. All our attitudes, our emotions at this time, if we feel comfortable or not, or something has bothered us during the course of this meeting, you need to really pay attention to that, how you are reacting. So it takes a lot of reflection to be aware of our emotions and to develop our emotional intelligence. And then we also have how to manage those relationships socially, how we communicate, how we connect and interact with other people. So here you have the 4 domains. And if you can see it as a whole, it's extremely simple. First, we have self-awareness, then self-control. More complex, social awareness, social control. So we pay attention, we reflect about what is happening, right? What is happening when I attend a class as a student, what is happening when my professor provide a feedback that is not so good, and especially what happens if I was expecting a good feedback. How do I react to that situation? And if I didn't react in a nice way, well, how can I manage that? How can I be aware of the situation to improve my reactions? Okay, so to develop our emotional intelligence, we need to have, for these 4 dimensions, we need to develop some competencies. For example, for self-awareness, the first that we mentioned, we need to develop that emotional self-awareness. Then we talk about self-control or self-management. Well, there are several competencies that we can develop. And as I mentioned, we are going to see this in more detail. But for now, let's talk about emotional self-control, adaptability, to be focused on achievements, and in general, to have a positive view about the things that happen. For example, I am a person that I see more the bad or the things that are not that good than the positive things. So the recommendation is to put everything in a positive context. So once you are aware of how you in general react, you can try to manage that. Same for social awareness. We need to develop empathy with the people that we are in contact with, and we need to develop organizational awareness. When we are organizing a meeting, for example, this meeting has an excellent organization, or when we are in a professional context, or when we are working as a team, as a student. And we need to have the relationship management. The competencies will be how to influence others, how to manage conflict. We always have conflicts in my experience, right? The thing is how to manage the conflict, teamwork, and inspirational leadership. I didn't mention coach and mentor because really you need to be more experienced to develop that part, in my opinion, of your relationship management. But please consider that that's also part of relationship management. So now that I have described more or less what is emotional intelligence, I would like to address your own competency right now, right? Remember, this is a safe environment. So I will request your participation. For example, let's talk about, and I will only address self-management and social management, right? The awareness part is just to be aware that this is happening, that we need to address our own emotions and we need to address or be aware of our emotions on a social environment. So let's talk about emotional self-control. So the first point here is I can recognize my emotions as I experience them, right? And we have several options, not at all, rarely, sometimes, often, and very often. Perhaps this is the first time that you are hearing about this. Right now you are reflecting, well, I don't know, I never pay attention to that, or others, it depends, because of their experience, might think, oh, I do that all the time, right? There could be extremes. So, and the second point is, I think clearly and stay focused under pressure, right? That's emotional self-control, right? For example, what would be being under pressure? I have an exam. What happens to me? For example, I always have a fever before attending an exam, right? If that was the emotion that I have.
Hello, ma. Sorry for cutting in. We can't
Yes.
see the next slide. You are talking about self-awareness. We can't see the slide.
Okay. Thank you so much, because in my screen, I am seeing Pole 1, emotional intelligence competencies. You are not seeing that? Sorry.
No, ma,
Now?
we are not seeing that. I think you should share and share again.
Okay. Let's see, because, okay, thank you again, because we need to be on the same
Just
page.
check it. Okay, it's
Do you
share
feel
now.
it is shared now?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Okay,
No, it's
thank
on
you.
poll. It's on poll. It's on poll.
Okay, yes,
It's
I
on
am on
poll
poll.
1.
I am on poll 1.
Oh,
Poll 1.
all right, all right, all right.
The green one, okay? I am there. Sorry, as I said, there are messages in the chat. I am not there. I am not paying attention to the chat. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the interruption. That was the agreement. If not, we don't understand each other. Right, I was talking about this one, the self-management, right? And the first topic, which is emotional self-control. I was describing, I can recognize my emotions as I experience them. And the other one, I think clearly and stay focused under pressure. For example, as I said, when I attended personally, I had an exam many years ago, I got a fever. All the time I got a fever. I was aware of that, right? After it happens for several exams, I said, okay, it's not that I am ill, it's the pressure that creates this reaction in my body. So again, the scale that I am proposing is, this happens not at all, rarely, sometimes. So what I would like one of you is to share your own experience about I can recognize my emotions as I experience them. Anyone volunteers, and you can unmute yourself or raise your hand, that would be ideal, and let all of us know if this happened to you frequently or not at all.
Okay.
Anyone?
Okay, yeah, my answer is ma. Okay, I didn't even raise my hand, but then about this, my emotions, if I experience them, I can recognize my emotions when I experience them. Yes, I think that was the kind of person I am.
Okay, excellent. And in which context, Victory, in which context do you relate these two? With your fellow students, with your professors, with your parents, with your boyfriend?
Oh, Okay, okay, this emotional thing, it happens when maybe somebody pisses me off and I'm very angry. I could like relate that, oh yes, I'm angry at the point. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Excellent, excellent. Then the second point, I think this is very important for students, for everyone else, but you know, you are students. I think clearly and stay focused under pressure. Can anyone share a situation in which you felt under pressure, right? An exam is the typical exam that at least is the typical example that at least come to my mind. Is anyone else willing to share how you react when you are under pressure? Anyone else?
Okay, let me share now.
Okay.
Hello? Can
Yes.
everyone hear me? Okay. Okay. My name is Abitable Precious. I'm the president of SPE NDU student chapter. And relating to how I react under pressure, there was this occasion whereby we were supposed to have a program, but due to the tediousness of things, I nearly lost my mind though, as in everyone around me was annoying me. Because we were supposed to do more, but we were doing less. It was very annoying, and it was my FA that called me to order that I should not act like that when I'm on pressure, that I might scare my followers away, that it's no good. Because everyone was like drawing back and I was the only one pushing. It was really tiring, very, very tiring. And I think I lost it. I lost it, man.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing, right? If we relate this conversation to actual things that happen to us, I think that you will remember better. Remember, reflect and share with no problems. Then we have adaptability, right? And the two examples that I share very briefly here is I smoothly handle multiple demands, shifting priorities, and I have a rapid change. And I am flexible in how I see events, right? Again, sometimes we see an event and say, oh, no, this person treated me very badly. I don't know why. Perhaps if you put that on focus, on that commonly happens also when we receive an email. Perhaps because of the mood of that day, we receive it like something negative. And then if we stay quiet and read the email hours later with another personal mood, the email looks totally different. However, if we would have reacted immediately, like, I think that these are bad words or this is aggressive, perhaps we create a problem because of, right, not being emotionally focused or because of not being flexible to understand how that person perhaps tried to communicate with us. So I will ask any of you, if possible, someone different, to please share an example about your adaptability. Do you adapt to situations all the time or rarely? And once you know this, then you will be able to improve on that. So anyone sharing about these two topics that I put here as an example? Okay, Gigi, please go ahead. Thank you for raising your hand. Let's start with Gigi and then Olivia. Gigi, would you like to go ahead? You need to, okay, Olivia, please unmute yourself and share your examples.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. So my own example is an exam scenario. So normally I'm not the person to read. I normally start my reading like as soon as I starting, just start the reading as well, so that when the exams are near, I won't be under pressure to like do so much of reading, to just be more of revising. So being the SP treasurer of organization was a bit tasky. I had to miss some classes to be able to do some SP work. So because of that one, now a lot of I had to compile a lot of my academic work. So last semester I had to adapt to coming for night classes to read during my exam periods. Normally, I normally do it is I do night class during the semester, but during exams, I just stay at home to just read a little while, then sleep, eat, then go to my exam venue. But I had to adapt to having to go for night classes. It was like a back-to-back night class activities so that I can catch up and meet up with the books that are not finished. So that's basically the experience that I have to share.
Thank you so much, Olivia. Thank you so much. And you can put your hand down. And I don't know if Gigi wanted to share. I don't see his hand now. Now we have another topic. And this is extremely important in life as students and as professionals. Achievement orientation, right? Having goals and fulfilling the goals. For example, I am results oriented with a high drive to meet objectives and standards. I set challenging goals and take calculated risks. Anyone would like to share? And by the way, I would like to mention this to each and everyone attending this event. I am a very shy person, and I was extremely shy when I was a student. So shy that when I hear a question, right, at the class, I got totally blocked and nothing came to my mind, right? And the only way, and it was because of my shyness. So the only way to be able to overcome that is by raising your hand one time, speaking, and then another time. And you will see that this, if you are shy, like me, as I was, I am still, yeah, shy, I have to say. But I do the effort to overcome that situation. So if you are shy, you try one time and you will see that then naturally you will be able to participate. So anyone would like to share if you are an achievement-oriented person or not yet? Because of that, then there are some things that perhaps you haven't been able to achieve. Anyone would like to share her or his experience? Please raise your hand. Okay, we have Victory. Victory, please go ahead. Victory is not shy.
All right, confirm you can hear me, ma. Okay, about achievement orientation. I think I'm currently in 400 level now in my final year. So in 200 level I came into school in 100 level, right? So 100 level, I was relaxed. I felt like, oh, this work is going to be so easy. It's not going to be that stressful. Since they said, oh, they are going to teach you what they taught you in secondary school. So getting to see my 100 level result, I saw 3 point something. I was not so like, oh, I didn't keep to push. I just kept myself relaxed. So I got into 200 level. When I got into 200 level, it was now tough. It was very tough. I wrote exams. I came back to school the next session to check my result, and I saw that I dropped drastically. I had about 2.36 thereabouts. I dropped drastically, and it was so bad that I was like, oh, I already passed the semester to like, get good grades and all of that. But no, I picked up myself. I kept my big girl bands on, and I came to 300 level. Once I got into 300 level, I was determined that, you see that first class that people are saying, oh, first class, I was going to get first class. So I came to 300 level and I started reading. A lot of things, a lot of distractions and all of that. So I started just pushing myself. Lo and behold, after the semester examinations, I was surprised to even see that I could even do more than I was limiting myself. I could do more than that. And that's how I came out with 4.50, a first class result in 300 level.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being very open. Anyone else about this last topic, achievement orientation? If not, okay. We are going to move to next slide. I am not using the maximize because Maximansi in the slides, we have some difficulties before. You were not able to see. So now let's move on. Remember, we talk about self-awareness and self-competencies for self-management. And we also talk about being in a social environment, awareness, and what are the competencies for that. We are going to address those competencies, relationship management now. Also extremely important. For example, we have influence. I cultivate and maintain extensive informal networks. This is an opportunity to extend your network, this meeting. I seek out relationships that are mutually beneficial. I make and maintain personal friendships with my fellow students. Remember, we are social animals, being humans. We need to connect. And in general, Nigerians are people that connect extremely well, right? Express their emotions, etc. So I wonder, anyone would like to share if you have friends, if you establish these friendships naturally with your fellow students, or perhaps you have some difficulties. The difficulties sometimes are related that you live far from a school or in another neighborhood, who knows? There are many types of difficulties, right? Transportation issues. Anyone would like to share about your influence, how you connect with other people? Do you do this routinely or not so often? I will select one person, and you know, if you still, okay, Ogomu has raised his hand. Please go ahead. Please share your experience, your personal experience.
All right, about I want to speak about influence and how I used to have relationship with people, and it's about relationship being mutual. And definitely, if relationship is not mutual, it's not a deal for me. Yeah, I always want my kind of relationship with people to be you do for me, I do for you. Not that I will be the only person to be just trying to make everything work. Yeah, if the other person is also another person that is having that mindset of okay, this is my friend. So what is going through is what I should also go through. That kind of relationship is what I always look at for. So it's very, it's very, very good for me. Yeah, that is what my relationship
Thank you so
type.
much. Yeah, and personally, I agree with that, right? It's not that you can give in a friendship, even with your relatives and do not receive anything. I mean, you observe what is happening, right? It's not good to be always on the given side. Thank you for sharing. We also have, if you can put your hand down, that's good. We also have conflict management. Conflict management. I handle the tense situations with diplomacy and tact. I encourage debate and open discussion. I orchestrate win-win solutions. Okay, this is one of the topics that is very difficult to talk about at work. When we are students, it seems that everyone is saying nothing happens, everything is good. We get along very well with each and everyone. Well, in my experience, this is not true, and I want to say this in the open, right? The worst position for me to take when there is a conflict that commonly begin with minor things, right? I didn't like what she said, etc., but then can escalate, right? To force, to people having terrible type of relationships, for example, at work. Leaders ignoring the situation. This is for me the worst possible situation. Conflicts should be addressed, should be talked, and should be solved. We will leave it like that. That's a little complex. I am going to teamwork now. I practice team qualities like respect, helpfulness. I include all members of the team into active and enthusiastic participation. I protect the group and its reputation, right? So I assume that you have worked in a team. Adetona, please mute yourself. Adetona. Okay, I muted Adetona, and it's bad because he will not be able to unmute himself, but it was interrupting the presentation. So sorry about that. I know that things like that happen. I am flexible, but we need to continue. We have a limited time. So I assume that you have worked as a team, right? This meeting is the result of a team. I mentioned two names. I mentioned Victoria, I mentioned Olivia. Sorry, because I haven't mentioned each and every one. I don't know the names of the people involved in organizing this meeting, but this is the result of good teamwork. So anyone would like to share, because of your personal experience, how you work in a team? You work well, not so well. There are things that you need to improve. And if you can describe a specific situation. Anyone? Sometimes you have
Yes.
a common. Okay, Evitevi, would you like to, or Precious?
Precious, ma. Precious is just fine, ma.
Yes, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. I will say I love teamwork. I love teamwork. So the fact that we do share everything, we share our work and all that. And my issue here in school has really built that in us that you cannot really do anything outside yourself, that you will need a team, that for you to really grow and grow, you need a team. So it has really done on us. Most of our assignments that we've been given are team assignments, whereby if you are to write a program, you will need the other person to do the manual solving, then you do the programming and all that. So it's been really exciting for me. And I love my team. And I don't attach myself to a particular set of persons when it comes to teamwork. I like to explore other persons to know their ability, to know what they can really contribute when you work. Like what he says, it's when you work with people, that's when you will know how you will be able to grow yourself. So I really give myself to work with others outside my friends. So I would say I have more friends, as in many friends, because everybody I work with, I call them my friend, and I really build that relationship. It's very nice, Bob.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think that you mentioned, I love my team. Yes, we have reflections, we have awareness, but still, that doesn't mean that we are not natural, right? We need to feel it in our hearts. Everything we need to feel it in our hearts. It's not that we manage and we show something different than what we feel in our hearts. Then we have inspirational leaderships. Perhaps you think, oh, no, but I am too young. No, you are already taking leadership roles, right? You are taking leadership roles, like organizing a meeting, and you are leading your own lives, right? Being students, getting a degree. So I am articulate and able to arouse enthusiasm. I step forward to lead as needed, and I lead by example, right? That's extremely important, right? Honesty, integrity. We cannot say something and then, for example, talk about this meeting in another context and say, I organize everything, when we know that the result of a good meeting is the result of teamwork, right? So be honest, have integrity, be ethical. That's the most important condition for a professional and for a person. I will move on because I want to fulfill the timing. This is another thing that you might consider for your emotional intelligence when developing your emotional intelligence is people, body language, their attitudes, their voice are telling you the whole story. You just need to pay attention and reflect. For example, here we have photo 1, 2, and 3. The attitudes of these people are totally different, right? So pay attention to what people is saying, to their attitudes. Sometimes, the tone of the voice is the problem. What is said is good, but the tone doesn't reach out the audience as expected. Be always compassionate, right? Try to see things from an optimistic framework, not from a negative framework. So any one of you would like to mention in one word what you see in each one of these photos? Which message is this person telling you? Which emotion is this person expressing? Okay, again, Victory, I think that there is Angie. Gigi, would you like to share? Because, and we will go to Victory later on. Go ahead, Gigi.
All right, so can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes, go ahead.
All right, so for the first photo, I think the man is angry at something, is showing anger. For the second photo, I think they're quarreling again about something. Then for the third photo, the lady is happy, is excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And Victory, would you like to share your own assessment?
Okay, for the first photo, I can see anger, while for the second photo, I can see a bit of argument. Then for the third photo, I can see contentment.
Exactly. You know, you are totally in agreement. You see different people, if paying attention to the expressions, it is telling you a lot of what is happening. So just be aware of that and use it in consequence. Gigi, if you can put your hand down, that's good. So the exercise was to write from 5 emotions in the photos. We don't have the polls, but no problem. I think that you get the message. Now I would like, because we talk about emotional intelligence and we say, and this is a multicultural industry. So I have a specific talk about culture, being culturally savvy. This slide is from my talk. Perhaps some of you have attended that talk. If not, these are different cultural dimensions, the different bars with different colors, I will explain it very quickly, are different cultural dimensions. We have task versus relationship, neutral being versus affective. I will describe this in more detail, specifically, individual versus group, direct versus indirect communication, and achieve versus ascribe. And you can see how Nigeria locates in these cultural dimensions, right? Nigeria tend to be in the middle between being task-oriented or relationship-oriented. It tends to be more affective than neutral. Neutral is when you don't show your emotions. It tends to be more individualistic, and it prefers indirect communication, and it is an ascribed type of cultures. This means that you follow hierarchy at work, for example, or when you study. So you respect your professor like it is in a higher level, to say it quickly, right? While there are other cultures in which the leader or the professor are at the same level. I can question, as a student, I can question the professor. As a employee, I can question what my leader is saying, okay? In Nigeria, it's not like that. You follow the hierarchy. So you can see how Nigeria relates to other countries. One extreme will be the US, right? Totally different from Nigeria because they do not show their emotions. They are very much task-oriented. They want to have the work done, and then perhaps we can talk and go to have a coffee or a beer. They prefer direct communications. They put everything on the table. They are not doing things like not to offend someone. They talk directly. So I hope consider this, because then when you are working with people of other nationalities, you need to consider that because of their culture, they have different approaches to think. They communicate differently. And that needs emotional intelligence to be able to address that. So again, quickly, I am sharing here only for one cultural dimension, neutral versus affective, of some characteristics. For example, in a neutral type of culture, typically Anglo-Saxons, they show cool, self-possessed behavior. They don't show anything at all. It happened to me when I went to the States for the first time. While people from Nigeria or from Argentina, my original country, we are more affected and we express our emotions. Thoughts and feelings are not revealed. In other type of cultures, affective cultures, thoughts and feelings are revealed either verbally or non-verbally. You say it or you show it with your face, with your gestures. They take quick decisions with little information, while affected cultures tend to take decisions after gathering a lot of information, right? For example, I propose to have polls included in this meeting, but I thought this will be difficult to achieve because you need to really spend a lot of time to have a poll included in the meeting. When you know it, it's easy. But if you haven't done that before, okay, I would take it easy, right? While other people say, let's do it. Let's do it. And I am more from an affected type of culture. I prefer to do it little by little. And they can have change of plans at the last minute, no fear to risk, versus fear to risk and not change its plans at the last minute. Again, the polls is a good example, right? We discussed the possibility, it couldn't be done, and in my mind, it was going to be difficult to do. I hope that this provides very briefly an idea of what means to work in a multicultural environment and the different approaches, and the necessity to use cultural intelligence. So finally, let's see if we can see my last slide. Because now I have put the full screen. So emotional intelligence, to wrap up, I hope that now you have a better idea about what emotional intelligence is a skill that will provide your personal and professional success. It is really, really necessary. So I hope that with this, we have some idea about what is emotional intelligence, that you will try to use it, will try to perhaps read books about it, and most importantly, practice it. So thank you so much. I think that I am with time and looking forward to see if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma, for this wonderful presentation. I believe that I'm speaking for everybody when I say that it was very awesome and that we learned a lot on emotional intelligence, having to work with one another in the workplace, in the school environment, how to adapt to different situations, having to work as a team. So we will be going straight to the question and answer. So if you have any question, just raise up your hands. If you have any question, kindly raise your hand up, or you can write it in the chat box. I'll read it out. If you have any questions to ask, now is the time to raise up your hands or write it in the chat box. Okay, I'm seeing Ogomo Emmanuel. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
All right. Thank you very much, the speaker. Thank you very much for this wonderful and insightful session. Really wonderful one. So my question is about the emotional intelligence. I want to ask, like, this thing to me, like, I see it as a natural something. It's something that comes with you while you immediately you're giving birth. It's already there. The way you live your life, the way you react to people, the way you react to situation, and so on. So, like, I want to ask, for those that might not have some kind of wonderful reactions to some situations, can it also be developed through practice? That is the question I want to ask. Like, can it be developed through practice? Yeah, so that's the
Yes,
question, ma.
excellent question. If you can develop or improve, I think that's the question, right? If you can develop or improve your emotional intelligence. Absolutely, absolutely. So that's the reason. It's an excellent question. It's not that you are born with this emotional intelligence. You know, by the way, in your emotional intelligence, your family, another type of personal experiences has had a tremendous impact, tremendous impact. So, but then it's not that you are defined by your family. You can still, you need, if you do the effort to attend a presentation like this, that it is obviously a very little and brief comment or is sharing knowledge very, very briefly about emotional intelligence. But if you are really interested to succeed and to know more, you can read books, you can watch YouTube videos, you name it, right? Because now with the technology that we have these days, what we didn't have when I was young, right? You very easily can improve anything that you want, including your emotional intelligence. So, you know, from this presentation, just try to develop that awareness about situations, about your reactions, about the reactions of others. Use compassion, try to understand the reaction of others. That doesn't mean that, you know, you will always be like in a box and never react bad. Not at all. But at least you will have awareness about those reactions. What are those hot buttons that make you react bad? I have a situation recently. Okay, yes, I have a situation recently that I got my glasses, my new glasses, and suddenly 3 days later, they sent me a message saying, you know, you haven't paid the second part of your glasses. If you do not pay, we will send you the collectors, right? For me, that is a big offense because I pay all my bills. So I react not badly, but very clearly saying this was your mistake. You didn't ask me for my money for the second payment when I was there, right? And I was not aware that I needed to pay for a second time, right? So, you know, there are things that depending on your own experience and your, obviously, your personal character makes you react in a different way than other people react. But being aware of that, it has to do a lot with your personal values, right? Being aware of that is what matters, because then you can manage those reactions accordingly. Again, sometimes you will react in a very, very strong way, because if your values are hit, well, that will happen. But you will be aware of that. That's the advantage. Remember, at work, you will have a lot of situations in which, you know, perhaps you will not feel comfortable. But still, having developed and continue developing your emotional intelligence will help for you to make progress and to have very smooth relationships. Any other questions?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that answer. So this question is from Jeje Emmanuel, and it says, what technique can help manage stress and anxiety?
Excellent question. First of all, because of recognizing that we are anxious, we are stressed, and you know, for that, again, when you look for resources in internet, one of the things that come to mind is to meditate, right? Doing relaxation exercises. You know, these days everyone is saying, oh, I do meditation. Okay, meditation as the definition of meditation, which is, okay, I will put my mind blank for several minutes, right? So I will calm myself down. It's extremely difficult to put your mind blank for several minutes. I have tried. That's the reason why I say but still, you can be, if you are anxious about something or stressed about something, you can go to a quiet place, you can go to a park, right? Whatever place inspire you. You can go to the yard, you can go to your room and be in a quiet place, perhaps with very soft music, and just try to help to keep your mind, more quiet, not as stressed. Obviously, stress causes that you are tired, right? Stress is very bad in that sense because it has also, stress is something related with your mind, but your body feels that stress, you feel tired. So take it easy. Sometimes it's taking it easy, it depends on personality. Sometimes for me, going to the gym, doing exercise is what helps me the most to just diffuse stress. So considering your own situation, is it a walk in the park, but is it a quiet place, is quiet music, is going to the gym, but in most of the occasion is being by myself, right? But that's my recommendation, being by myself in a place where I can put my mind at ease. That would be my recommendation.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. So this question is still from Jeje Emmanuel, and it says, what resources or books can you recommend to learn more about emotional intelligence?
Okay, there is the book Emotional Intelligence that I mentioned in one of my first slides. By the way, the slides can be distributed. It's from Daniel, I think his name is Goldman. I can go there. I can go there. I am sharing the screen still. Daniel Goldman, he created the concept in 1995. But then there are other authors. I don't have another one from the top of my head, but a lot of works have been written after this original work, right? So if you Google, you will have a lot of information about emotional intelligence. But it is good to read books. You need to balance that. What is Google and what is a book? A book, is an entity that you have. Personally, I like hard copies because anything that I hear, right, you can buy the book that is read for you. But I don't know for how long that will last, because anything that is electronic, things change. Now we have another technology. Now you cannot use it. So I am still a buyer of books, of paper books. But obviously Google provides a lot of videos, a lot of information that are good resources for this topic, emotional intelligence, and for any other topic. I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you so much, Ma. And this is going to be the last and final question from Precious Esquire. Says, how can developing emotional intelligence improve leadership and teamwork in a professional setting?
How can I develop emotional intelligence? Well, it's by being involved. Yes?
How can developing emotional intelligence improve leadership and teamwork in a professional setting?
Okay. So, if first of all, you need to have the information. First of all, you need to have the information. Consider this presentation like a first step, a kickoff of your journey on improving your emotional intelligence, right? It's obviously a very little piece of your knowledge. But now I hope you are aware that emotional intelligence exists, that if you can manage your emotions and manage your emotions when being in a team, For example, as mentioned, in a working environment, being a leader in that environment, because as soon as you join, you are a leader. You are trying to do the best that you can in the team where you are working, right? Being a leader might be, okay, I will get the copies done for all the team to have during the meeting. That's taking action, right? It's something tangible. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, getting the information, knowing what we are talking about. Second, putting in practice what I have briefly discussed, like analyzing yourself, reflecting about your reactions, how you feel with other people. Can you get along with everyone, with the people? When we get along well, you know, there is not an issue. But the problem is when we don't get along well with someone or someone's, right? Then you will need, you have the opportunity to analyze, why is that happening? Perhaps is envy involved? Perhaps you really would like to have what that person has, either her or his title, or her or his demeanor. So you need to analyze, you need to reflect. That's my recommendation. If we do not reflect, if we go through life very quickly doing thousands of things with no time to reflect, then there are very little opportunities for learning and for improving. So observe and act accordingly. If you have relationships in the team or with the leader, or you as a leader are having some issues with one member of the team, why is this happening? Think about that. Think about that, because sometimes it's related with our own, you know, weaknesses or emotions that we have from other similar situations. If you reflect, you get to conclusions, and you see if you can solve that situation. Sometimes it can be solved. Sometimes there are people that we don't get along with for whatever reasons, right? Commonly it's very difficult to get along with each and everyone. You know, it's just life, I would say. We might do, but it's good to do the effort, right? Especially at the professional environment, it's good, or you get along well or you are indifferent, but never generate a conflict. That would be very negative. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you very much for the presentation and the questions, answering our questions. The next activity is the presentation of certificates, and it will be taken by the delegate. So delegate, over to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ma. Please, Olivia, confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen.
And please let me confirm if Esquire is on the call.
But the truth is just to tell him that
yes, the person.
Yeah, it's going to do the certificate of appreciation presentation.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Please, someone should help me mute that person talking, please. Please help me mute the person talking.
Okay.
What's happening? Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Esquire Precious from Novena University, and I want to.
It's not bad.
And I want to. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah,
please, we can hear you, Precious. We can hear you.
Okay.
I'm going to mute the person now. Sorry about that.
So I want to give the certificate of appreciation This certificate is proudly presented to Patricia E. Carreras by sincere appreciation for your invaluable contribution as a speaker on the professional series program of the Society of Petroleum Engineers, Novena University chapter, in collaboration with SPE Uniben and SPE DSUST, titled Cultural Synergy, Intending and Thriving in Multicultural Industry Using Emotional Intelligence on 5th October 2024. Ma, we just want to say a big thank you. We just want to appreciate you. And I'll be passing, and I'll be giving the moderator to carry on with this. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you so much. Please send me the certificate. I will share in my LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn page. Thank
No
you.
problem, Ma. No problem.
All right, thank you so much. Now it's time for the photography session. Everyone has
Okay,
to.
sorry to come in. Sorry to cut you short, Olivia. So right about now, we were going to do a question and answer session for prizes, and amazing prizes to be won by individuals who is going to answer the questions. So right here with me, I have 4 questions, and I just want the attention of every individuals on the call. Confirm you can hear me, please.
Yeah,
We can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, is everybody ready? Because I'll start with number 1 question, and you have to answer it. You have to raise your hand. I have to see it. Then I'll tell you to answer. Then when you answer and it's correct, you passed. That's 5 marks. So can we go on with that?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, the first question on my list, why Miss Patricia was giving her presentation, she answered the question and she referred to a book. What is the name of that book and what year was the book written? Raise your hand. Use the chat button to raise your hand. Then you can speak. Okay, Olivia.
The name of the book is Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Coleman, 1995.
Ah, you're correct. Well done. Okay. Permission to go over to the next question. Am I permitted?
Yes, you are.
Okay. What is the meaning of emotional intelligence? What's the meaning of emotional intelligence? We'll be talking about emotional intelligence for the longest time today. What's the meaning? Okay, Joy, Boniface. Oh, okay, Ruby. I don't know. I think Emmanuel's hand was raised first. Emmanuel, what's the answer?
All right, emotional intelligence, like it's kind of self-awareness. That is self-awareness or self-control.
Okay, I'm looking for a word. I will move over to Ruby. Ruby, what's the answer? Ruby, you can unmute your mic and speak. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, ma.
Okay. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your emotions, as well as manage other people's emotions that are around you.
Very, very correct. A round of applause for her, virtually. Okay, I'll move over to the next question. So, what do you consider? What's that thing you consider when you are dealing with emotional intelligence? Just 2 sentences. You can tell me that. Ruby, are you still raising up your hand? Okay, Emmanuel, what you?
Yeah, it's self-control. Self-control. That is one of the key things you should consider while dealing with emotional intelligence. Thank you.
Very, very wrong. That's wrong. The thing to
Really?
consider, yeah, that's wrong. The thing to consider when you're going through your emotions is your facial expression. She made it clear, your facial expression. So yeah, you passed that one. You feel that.
Oh my.
All right, over to the next question and the last. Okay. Is Nigeria in the neutral or the relationship, like in relationship wise or neutral? I need someone to answer that. Olivia,
The relationship.
that's very wrong. Nigeria is in between. She made it clear. Is in between neutral and relation. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone that participated. Olivia, you can carry on now.
All right, thank you so much for that question. So the next activity is the photography session where everyone has to on their camera and we'll take a screenshots. So please, everybody should turn on their cameras. Let's take a photograph. I'm sorry, on my camera first.
Please turn on your cameras. Turn on your cameras. Okay, that's me. Hi, Olivia. Okay, I see Miss Patricia. I see Jessie. I see Olivia. I see Jeje. I see Isaac. Please turn on your cameras. Oh, can't you see I'm looking? I'm not looking so fine. Please turn on your cameras. Thank you. Thank
Can't
you.
you see
Please turn
me?
on your cameras.
My environment is very dim.
No problem. No problem. Just turn on your cameras, please.
All
Peter
right.
Erode, Matilda, Ruby, Gabriel, David, please turn on your cameras, please. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I will take this. SP. SP. Okay, I got that one. Thank you very much. You can mute your mic now.
All right.
Thank you.
So, thank you, everyone. So the next activity is the announcement, which will be taken by Jesse Ozofwere. Yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you for
Confirm you
that.
can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you louder.
Ozofwere.
I can hear you. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. Carry
Yes,
on,
we
sir.
can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, the floor is yours.
All right.
Carry on.
Thank you. And I must say, I really enjoyed this section so much. So let's move to the announcements. These young professionals of Section 104 will be presenting an ambassador lecture program, which is titled Getting Started with Microsoft Excel, which is an introduction to data analytics. The date will be Wednesday, the 9th of October, 2024. The time will be 5 p.m. West African time. And that's the meeting link over there, which is, and this program is about discovering the limitless possibilities of Microsoft Excel and kickstarting your data analytic journey. In today's data-driven works, environment proficiency in MS Excel is an essential skill. The introductory section is designed to open your eyes to its vast potential in unlocking insights and driving informed decisions. Participants will learn how to harness the power of spreadsheets to collect, analyze, and visualize data, make informed decisions with data-driven insights, and enhance productivity and efficiency in various tasks. Whether you are a beginner or looking to refresh your skills, this section is going to be a perfect and a starting point. So join us as we explore the fundamentals of MS Excel and its application in data analytics. Thank you, and do well to join in this program with us. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for taking our time to be here. Thank you for making our time out of your busy schedule. Thank you, Ms. Patricia Carreras, for being here to present. And thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate time.
Thank you very much, Olivia. Thank you for handling the session. Thank you very, very much. So prior to that, the people that answered the quiz questions that got it correctly, I think I'll give Olivia paid marks because she was able to answer two. I told them that Nigeria was in between, but she got it. So Olivia, you'll be having our free 1 month subscription, Netflix subscription. And for the other word Scrabble, the winner for that session was Zafanaya. I don't know if he's still on the call, but we'll reach out to him as well. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining. So without further ado, I'll be rounding up this session and I'll be calling up our student license officer, Mr. Shima Okori. I don't know if he's still on the call. Mr. Shima, please, if you're still on the call, say hi. Olivia, please, could you help me confirm?
I don't think he's on the call. I don't think so.
Okay. Emmanuel, you'll be taking the closing remark. Thank you very much.
All right, all right. Good evening, everyone. And I must say, this is very, very wonderful. Yeah, very, very wonderful. And if there is other word for me to describe it, is that word. Yeah, it's very, very wonderful and insightful. So, yeah, it was it was super. It was super. Yeah. So thank you very much, the speaker and everybody that made that time from their busy schedule to be here. I really, really appreciate every one of us, and to the moderator and every person that contributed one thing or the other for the success of this meeting. I really, really thank you all. So thank you and have a wonderful evening. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Miss Patricia. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you, Jeje. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Precious, Esquire Precious. Thank you, Oyeka. Thank you, Dr. Sarah Wani. I think is one of the professionals. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it. And we do not take it for granted. Trust me. Thank you very much. You can also connect with our facilitator on LinkedIn. Yes, Miss Patricia. You can connect with her on LinkedIn. She will drop her LinkedIn handle on the chat box. Then you can connect with her. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, everyone. Excellent show. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Mara.
Bye.